Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin. I am one of the Mini-THON liaisons here at Four Diamonds. I cover the territory of Western Pennsylvania and Dauphin County.
And my name is Caitlin Ridge. I am another one of the Mini-THON liaisons. I cover York County and Northeastern Pennsylvania.
Thank you for joining us this evening to learn from our amazing Mini-THON ambassadors about Gold Out Games, homecoming, corporate sponsorships, and fall fundraisers. In addition to these topics, feel free to ask any additional Mini-THON related questions. In just a couple minutes, I will be turning the presentation over to Anna and McKenna, but first, just a few quick housekeeping notes. We will be monitoring the Q&A box for any questions that may come in. If we're not able to answer your question tonight, we or your liaison will follow up by an email. This session is being recorded and will be sent out in the next Mini-THON newsletter to share with your teams and those who were unable to join this evening. So now the floor is all yours. Anna and McKenna, take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is McKenna Malott. I am a junior this year and I attend Spring Grove High School. And as Caitlin said, I am one of the Mini-THON ambassadors.
And my name's Anna. I'm a senior at Dallastown High School. I am also one of the Mini-THON ambassadors. Um, and my role in Mini-THON is I'm a head of the business committee at my school. So we're going to start by talking about some homecoming events that happen at my school. So one big event that my school host is a homecoming dress sale. So leading up to homecoming, so like about 3 Sundays in September, in our lobby we host a big dress sale from 12 to 3. Um, so we have probably hundreds of dresses and we set them up in our lobby on hooks and hangers. So it's kind of like a store and it's organized by like sizes, so and like long and short dress, so you can get like that feeling of being in a store. We get the dresses from local businesses, or a lot of people for homecoming, they wear a dress once and then they never wear it again and it just sits in their closet. So we get a lot of donations from people who just have dresses from years and they have nothing to do with them. So we sell most of the dresses for $25. Um, we also have a clearance rack of like dresses that are out of style, or maybe they have like a small rip or something that can be fixed, but we also sell shoes for $5 and purses and accessories. So, um, in addition to our setup, like a shop, we also have bathrooms that are open that people can try on. We have mirrors. We have a outside the bathrooms that we use as a dressing room. We set up a little rack where they can return the dresses that they don't want, and we just put them back. Um, This year, we also created an Instagram page to advertise the dresses. So you can see on the screen, we posted pictures of the dresses, and I don't have in the screenshot, but we also posted pictures of people in the dresses and different promo videos. And this year, we were able to sell like 60 dresses, and we raised about $2,000. So it was a successful fundraiser for us. In addition, in the fall, we have our Beat Cancer football game. So earlier in the summer, towards the beginning of school, we coordinate with the student section to pick a date to have Beat Cancer as our theme. Our Beat Cancer game is basically like a gold out. We sell shirts in a variety of sizes, and um, we normally have three main colored shirts that we sell, but every year we try and get like a different variety of shirts. So you can see in the picture there's some tie-dye shirts and camo shirts. We just try and mix it up so we're not like we don't have the same thing every year to try and keep it interesting. Um, in addition, we also sell spirit items like beads, bracelets, sunglasses, tattoos. We do this for all the football games, no, not just the Beat Cancer game during the football season. So that's a good idea to extend your reach beyond just one game. We just get like, if the theme's a whiteout, we'll get like white beads, white sunglasses, and we'll just sell them in the lobby or at the game. So that keeps fundraising beyond just one game a year. But specifically for our Beat Cancer game, we have a tailgate for Four Diamonds families before the game, and then we introduce the Four Diamonds families, and they get to walk on the field. Um, and of course, like the student section is all decked out in Beat Cancer shirts and gold shirts. And during the break between the first and second quarter, we go through the cans and stand and can. We call it 4 minutes for Four Diamonds, and we see how much money we can collect in 4 minutes, and then we announce the total during halftime. So that's our Beat Cancer football game. In addition, we also do Beat Cancer games for all of our fall sports, so like volleyball, field hockey, soccer, tennis. They're just not as big as the football games, but they still do have an impact on our total. Next slide. And finally, I'll be talking about corporate sponsors. So at my school, we have a dedicated committee to solicit donations. We call that our Business and Community Relations Committee. And their task is just to go out and collect donations from various businesses. They meet in the summer, they get a list of businesses, and they get a paper letter with like the school print on top that outlines like what Mini-THON is. And then they also get papers about how you can help Mini-THON and different levels of donations. And so the committee members take that to the businesses on their list, and they basically are like, hey, I'm with Mini-THON. We're trying to raise X amount. We were wondering if you could help. And one thing that we have found really successful is that when we go out to businesses, we don't just go out and ask like, can you help us in some way? We try to like find something specific that they can give. Like if we're going to the bowling alley, we go out and ask for like free bowling games. Or if we're going to the movie theaters, we'll ask for free tickets. So, or even like a gift card. I mean, that way it's more specific and it's not as a broad. They know what they can do. Um, and then we have 4 levels of sponsorship. Like I said, we have bronze, silver, gold, and gold plus. And all so to be a bronze sponsor, you have to raise $50, and all levels. So if you raise $50, if a business has given $50 or more, they get a social media shout out. And then the silver sponsors are on like a poster at Mini-THON in addition to being posted on social media. And then the gold and gold plus sponsors are on like the back of our t-shirt on some bigger posters at Mini-THON. So we're really trying to incentivize sponsorship in that way. That's all I have about sponsorship. So I'm going to hand it over to McKenna now.
So at
Hey,
Spring Grove,
sorry, quick question. Anna, we had a question come in about your 4 levels of sponsorship. What is included in each level?
So I know for sure for bronze, they get recognition on social media, and then that's a minimum of $50. Silver, it's a minimum of $100. They get social media recognition, and their name and company logo are in like a poster or a giveaway or something. Gold sponsors are a minimum of $500. They get social media recognition again. They get an individual banner at the event, and their logo is on the back of every t-shirt. And if they're a gold sponsor, they also have the opportunity to come present a check the night of Mini-THON on the stage. And then finally, the Gold Plus, it's a minimum of $1,000 donation. And they get their company name on like the t-shirts. They get to come the night of. on a banner, and we have a mini-thon event at our middle school, and they get their company name on the back of every t-shirt. And I will say, like, you got to keep in mind, like, that the $1,000 and these bigger like sponsorships, like, they're not handing us a check for $1,000. Like, they're meeting the $1,000 like in different ways, whether that's like in-kind donation, or they're gonna come give ice cream to students the night of. So it's not like just $1,000. Like, we have different ways that they can meet that, if that makes sense.
Awesome, thank you. And then we also had one more question come in about your corporate sponsors. That is, how do you select your corporate sponsorship businesses? Do you have connections through them, or do you pick them through other ways?
Okay, so we have a big list that's probably like has like 60 businesses on it, and it's just kind of been like accumulated throughout the years, like, oh, so and so, like, their dad works here, so we have a connection that way, or they've given in the past, so we'll put them on our list. Or like Dallastown, like, oh, every time we order pizza, we order it through this business, so we have a connection with that business. So we're gonna go out to that business. I will say that we also, the sponsorship papers that we give our business and community relations members to go out and to businesses, we also give to every member of our Mini-THON committee. So like that just extends our reach. And it's likely that like those committee members, oh, they'll have a friend, or they'll have like their parents own a business. And we found like that when there's more connection, there's a higher chance that we're going to get donations.
Great, thank you so much. McKenna, back to you.
Okay, so as I said, I go to Spring Grove High School, and our biggest fundraiser, I should say, outside of the actual day of Mini-Thon is our Gold Out game. Caitlin, there you go. So as you can see right here, that was from this year's Gold Out game. Um, that was in the student section. The student section wears gold for our game. Could you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So last year, for Gold Out, we raised around $5,000. So that total included game donations that we got from our Gold Out football game, the soccer game, and the boys and girls basketball games. It also included our Gold Out merchandise sales. So every year we create new Gold Out merchandise, and that brings in a lot of funds. Teachers, students, the community love to get our new Gold Out shirts. That also includes the dress down day for teachers if they wore gold. We also invited Kona Ice to our Gold Out football game, and then we split the money that they made, and that brought in a lot of funds as well. We also sold items at our table during the games. We have a table set up, and we have little um, things like stickers, bracelets, all Mini-Thon related things. We also bring out some of our Gold Out shirts that we had extra, because sometimes people come to the games and they're like, oh, I didn't get to buy a shirt. So then they buy one there. So different ways that we fundraise with Gold Out. One of the biggest things that we do is canning. So throughout the entire game, leadership team members sign up for each quarter of the game, and they walk all around the stadium in the stands, um, just trying to get donations. We also have a halftime push, so that is 2 minutes long, and leadership team members are on the away side, the home side, everywhere around the stadium, collecting as many donations as possible in those 2 minutes. So the announcer explains what Mini-Thon is and tells everyone we're going to be doing 2 minute push, and that normally also brings in a lot of funds for us. As I said before, partnering with food trucks or vendors to come to the game and then get a percentage of the profit, and we did Kona Ice. Um, Also, Gold Out merchandise sales, whether you do new shirts every year or you use the same design, those can bring in a lot of funds for you. And it also just shows a lot of community involvement whenever you see all of the people wearing your gold out shirts and also selling items at the game. That is another great way that you can make some more funds. So then fall and homecoming fundraisers. Um, one of our biggest ones that we do for the fall is our fall candle fundraiser. So we partner with a local business in York, and it is called White Clover Family Farm. So they make their own candles, and last year we made a total of we made over $2,000 with this fundraiser on its own. So each of the candles sells for $20, and I believe it is a 16-ounce candle. But because of what they make the candle with, it lasts for a very, very long time. So we pick 4 different fall scents that they give us options. We pick 4, and then we just give people sheets. And if they find somebody who wants to buy one, they write down their name, how many they want, and then we get the money, and then they just have to come and pick it up from us. So it's a super easy fundraiser, but it makes a decent amount of money. And then something we do for homecoming is our school the Thursday before homecoming, which is actually tomorrow for us. Um, Student council hosts a homecoming parade and bonfire. So in the past, we've had a table there, and we sell merchandise and our other Mini-THON items like bracelets, stickers, all of that. We also like to get our old Mini-THON shirts from past years. People love to get our old shirts from past years of Mini-THON. They love to get those. So we bring some of those out. We also bring out some of our gold out shirts. We can also go canning all around at the bonfire and all of the food trucks. And it also just spreads awareness about childhood cancer and Mini-THON to the community because we want people to know about it. The more awareness you spread, the more funds that will come in. Awareness is a really, really big thing that I know my school was focused a lot on last year. We were really focused on awareness. We wanted to get the word out about what Mini-THON is because that will really, really help you with getting those funds. So then corporate sponsorships is the last thing I'm going to be talking about. Um, so at our school, we start working on letters and mailing them after the Gold Out game, mostly. The Gold Out football game is just a very big event for us. So after that is out of the way, we like to start working on the letters. So we have a corporate log that our corporate relations committee and finance committee is all in charge of, and that is where we keep everything corporate sponsorships. So where we send the letters, their addresses, the contact person, who donates, how much they donate, check numbers, all of that is within that spreadsheet. And something really important that we learned last year um, is you need to really be frequently checking the addresses. So we didn't think that we would need to check them that often, but there were a lot of businesses that had new addresses or they went out of business. So then whenever we sent out our letters, they actually came back to us because the business was no longer at that address. So it is really important to be updating those businesses yearly. So I know I just did that last week. I was updating all of those businesses, checking, making sure that they were all correct. So that's something very, very important. So you can mail letters or hand deliver them. I know Anna said that they hand deliver theirs. My school personally, we have over 300 corporate sponsors, corporate businesses. Not, I shouldn't say corporate sponsors, corporate businesses that we send letters to every year. So we have so many businesses that hand delivering them would be almost impossible, especially since we have some of the businesses that we mail letters to are outside of PA. So we mail all of our letters unless there is a family member or somebody who wants to just give the letter directly to that business owner. Um, so then we also include business incentives to encourage donations and sponsorships. We also have the different levels of sponsorships, and each one has different incentives. And I actually have um, a photo of that document later then. It's also just really important to build good relationships with your businesses. we have multiple businesses who every single year donate to us. One of them is Arm& Hammer. They actually come to our Mini-Thon every year and they sell some of their products there, and then we get a portion of what they make from that. So it is just super duper important to have those good relationships with businesses because that is going to help you out a lot. This is a humongous part of your fundraising process, and this is going to bring in a lot of funds and also create a lot of awareness for you. So this is definitely something that is super duper important. Could you go to the next slide, Caitlin? I have a photo. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see what our letter looks like. Everything highlighted there are things that need to be changed. So this was our letter template from last year, and we've used the same template for a few years. And we basically just explain what Mini-Thon is, who we are as SG Mini-Thon. We like to tell the businesses what we made last year, how much we've made in total since the start of Mini-Thon, and just that sort of thing. Really just get them to understand who we are, who we're doing this for, that we're doing this for the kids. And then on the next slide, I also have something that goes along with the letter in the envelope, and that is our sponsorship levels with the company incentives. So we have 5 different sponsorship levels. We have the diamond donor, which is the highest. Then we have the platinum, then the gold, silver, and bronze. And then where the diamonds are on the chart, that corresponds with what incentives they get. So as you can see, the diamond donor gets all the incentives. The bronze only gets one of them. So that just kind of helps because our incentives can help that business get their word out as well. So that is something that will sometimes want to make businesses donate to you. And then on the next slide, I also just have something we also put into our letter. This is the last thing we put into our envelope, is the corporate sponsorship form. If they were to be interested in sponsoring us, in donating to us, they can fill this out, and then this is what they send back to us. And then we have a receipt that we send to them. And we also, at the end of the year after Mini-Thon, we send thank you letters to them. And yeah, so that's just something super important that we really like to prioritize at Spring Grove. So that's all I have. But were there any questions that came in?
Yes, McKenna. So you said that you have some businesses that you reach outside of PA. Can you talk a little bit about like where those connections came from and like how you are kind of strengthening those relationships outside of Pennsylvania?
Yeah. So, I know for a fact one of the businesses we have been reaching out to and that we have on our corporate log, we have had them as a business that we like to reach out to every year. And I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe that somebody who was on the leadership team prior, who is now graduated, had a connection to them. So because they had a connection to them, even though they were outside the state, we still sent one out to them because if somebody has a connection with a business, that is a great business to send them to. Um, and then some other things too is we've had people on the leadership team who have lived outside the state and then have known people who again were outside the state. So most of the time when we send um our letters outside of the state, it's because somebody had a relationship with a business outside of the state. Or if you're sending it to a bigger corporation or a bigger business, um, that is also another thing that could be a reason why you went out of state is if it's somebody who is bigger, like a sports team or something like that, if you were trying to send to them, just things like that. So yeah, mainly relationships. People having relationships with other businesses is how we do that.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now we got another question that came in, and this can be answered from both you and Anna. So the question is, what is the best way to connect with the business for a first year Mini-THON program? So what advice would you give to a new Mini-THON program in connecting with businesses? I can start with you,
Um,
McKenna.
Yeah, I would say if you're a first year mini-thon school, I definitely would say reaching out to businesses that are in your town, businesses that are local. I know we reach out to a lot of businesses that are local because most of those businesses know of your school and some of them may even know of Mini-thon from other places. And so I think just reaching out to local businesses who really love to help the school already is a great starting point. And then again, just if you know anybody who owns a business or works at a business, sending things to them, I would say would be my best advice for that.
I agree that you should try in like your local area to start. I would say like go out to the businesses, like make a connection, like go visit them, hand them papers like face to face. And after that, I would say email, follow up, or call them. I don't like calling, but um, call them, check in, try and like keep being persistent with those businesses. And I would also say like try like handing out papers about business sponsors or asking like the committee or like your whole mini-thon like, oh, do you have connections with any businesses? I know in years past on the form that people filled out to be on a mini-thon committee, we did ask them. So we kind of got some businesses from there. But I would definitely say like go with like where your connections are or like businesses that are like right by your school that everyone knows and that like know your school or like a business that like your school always like defaults to if they like need anything. Like if there's like a I don't know, like a lot of like if there's like a pizza shop that like all the events use, like reach out to them because they've had a long-standing relationship with the school.
I would agree with everything that Anna said. I think that it is an amazing idea to go and hand deliver those letters if you are a school that is just starting out because as I said, for Spring Grove, we have hundreds of businesses, so we just are not able to really do that. But we have had Mini-thon at our school for many, many years. I think that if you're just starting out, it is really, really important to make those good connections with businesses and talk to them face to face when you're delivering letters.
I would also say I didn't include this on my slideshow, but I just thought of this. At the end of the year, after our mini-thon, we make cards like they're like the cards you would get from like Shutterfly, like a family Christmas card almost. But they have like a picture of our mini-thon and on and it just says like thank you. And on the back we have people who handwrite messages to like teachers who sponsored like a chicken nugget tray or something, or to businesses who gave. So, and then we send them out to the businesses. So I think it's important to see that like their donation is making an impact and that like you're grateful for it because if they see that, then they're more likely to come back. Like if they know, oh, we get this card every year, they can see the impact and they'll probably be more likely to donate again the following year.
I agree. We send out thank you letters every year at the end of the year, and it's just really important so that businesses know that we are thankful and the families, the Four Diamonds families, are even more thankful that they were able to help them. That's just a really, really important step in that process.
Thank you both so much. Greatly appreciate that. Um, we did get another question. Are you able to share the slides with us? This webinar is being recorded and will be sent out in next month's newsletter or posted on community. So be on the lookout for that. And then we did have some questions that came in with the form prior to the webinar. So we're going to hand these to Anna McKenna. How can we better utilize Donor Drive as individuals and encourage others to do the same? And then there's a part two. What are the best ways to advertise it to schools?
I think that at least from my experience with Spring Grove, we have always used Donor Drive, and something that we just make sure students understand is part of our registration process is that they have to be registered on Donor Drive to be able to attend the event, and they have to have $30 raised on Donor Drive. That is one of our steps that they have to do in order to come to the event. So whether you would want to do it in that sort of way, that is just the thing that we have always done. Or if you don't want to do it where they're required to have a Donor Drive account, you could even just really keep on being persistent about how Donor Drive is a much easier way to get those donations, and it makes it easier for you as the leadership team to be able to get those donations to the Four Diamonds organization. Just keeping on being persistent about that. So even though it's not required, students feel as though that is what they should do because that's the best way. That would be what I would suggest. Anna, do you have anything else?
For my school, we also like the registration is through Donor Drive. So like they have to be registered on Donor Drive and they have to raise $50 to attend the event. And I also think that registering through Donor Drive, like people are more likely to raise more money that way. Otherwise, like if it was just like, oh, pay $50 at the door, is going to be almost like a ticketed event and they're only going to pay the $50 instead of viewing it as a fundraiser and raising more. Um, we do give, I think we do give recognition to our top donors. So we incentivize people to send out the link and use Donor Drive and to specifically get people registered for Donor Drive. We have representatives go around to home rooms. We also have it on the morning announcements. We also have like a poster that has like a QR code for like Android to download the Donor Drive app and iPhone to download the Donor Drive app and get started. In addition, last year, we did like a team competition by grade. So like each grade was competing to see who could raise the most money, and that led to some competitiveness between the teams, and so that helped raise donations.
Yeah, and something else you could even do, I know, as Anna said, something we also do is we have incentives for our top money raisers, but you could even use incentives for people to use Donor Drive. Like if you are registered on Donor Drive in this amount of time, um, then you get this incentives. I know in the past we have done like a VIP, we call it a VIP room, and the first 10 kids in every grade who were registered on Donor Drive and had all their registration steps complete, they got to be in a VIP room and they got their own room to get their things in, and they got crumble cookie, things like that. So I think incentives is also a great way to boost the Donor Drive activity.
Last year also we did 2 days where we incentivized people to register through Donor Drive, and um, we would take all the people who registered that day on Donor Drive and we would put them in a drawing. And earlier in the year, we got like 10 free sandwich cards from Primanti Brothers through our business committee. So we would pick like one day and we would pick 3 names and each would get a sandwich card from Primanti's. And that kind of incentivized it. And we would, of course, put this on social media so people could see it and they would be more willing to register. We also do incentives by how much people raise. So you need 50 to go to the event. If you raise $250, you get a little goodie bag with like socks and different themed items for like the night of. And if you raise 500 or more, you get access to our VIP room, which has like different food, different personal space for storage and chargers and different stuff. So
Great, thank you guys. And then another question. Do you both utilize Registration Push Week and the Donor Drive Fundraising Challenge?
So I know for Spring Grove, we just started trying to do that last year. Um, I believe that it increased some donor drive registrations, but I don't remember exactly how many. But yeah, we just started doing that last year. So hopefully, as years go on and we continue to do that, that will help to increase that number.
At my school, we don't do like the official push week or stuff, but we have our own push week closer to the event where we're really trying to get in donations and we have like incentives for like, oh, if we've raised $1,000, this teacher will go do whatever, and 2,000, we have this, and 3,000 up to like 15,000. So we're really trying to get in a lot of donations in that week, but it's not like tied to a Four Diamonds push week, it's our own week.
Okay, great. Thank you both so much. Our next question is, what is your most effective incentive? Like, I know you guys were kind of sharing some incentives, but how do you really get traction from students? Like, what really motivates them?
Um, at our school, I think something that we could do better with is actually providing more incentives. Right now, our biggest incentive would probably just be that whenever, if you're one of the top money raisers, you get to go on the stage and hold up one of the numbers and you get like a certificate. Um, we are very, very um, lucky to have many students who, even though we don't have that many incentives, they just want to help and they want to raise that money. But I think that if we provide more incentives, that would help more. So, yeah, just right now, our biggest one is probably the top 10 money raisers getting to hold up a number on the stage. And then in the past, we also had the VIP room.
So, like I said, at my school, if someone raises $250, they get an incentive bag that's tied to our theme. So last year we had a space theme, and in the incentive bag there was like a pair of socks that was like purple, maybe a chapstick, space theme bracelet, Four Diamonds tattoos, space theme tattoos, stuff like that. And then for $500, they uh, someone once someone raises $500, they get access to the VIP room. And a lot of people like the VIP room. We have chargers that they can charge their phone in throughout the night so they don't have to bring their own charger and power cord. We also we use, the school has like milk crates where they get their milk in. So we attach them and kind of put them up on the wall. So they're like little storage containers where people can put their stuff in throughout the night instead of putting it in the gym. We have special food, special candy for the VIP room. And once someone earns VIP status or raises $500, they get sent a form. And on that form, it asks for the VIP gift we give. Like, so we give like, oh, in the last couple years, we've given like a water bottle. The first year we gave like, it was like a 30-ounce water bottle with like one of those screw-on lids with the straw. And if they raised $500, they got a form to fill out asking what name they would want on the water bottle. So we had the tech ed teachers. They put the Mini-THON logo on one side of the, like, it's like a metal water bottle, and on the other side it was like the name they wanted. Last year we did a similar thing. We just this it was just like a tumbler with like a straw, and it still had the monogrammed like Four Diamonds logo or Mini-THON logo and the name that they wanted. So a lot of students like that because they can use it throughout the night. And the VIP, also we have some, one of our popular events is we have puppies come in from like the seeing eye. So the VIPs get like special access to the puppies as well as like some other benefits throughout the night.
All right. Thank you so much, girls. That was incredibly helpful. Um, So one of our, this is probably going to be our last question tonight. What worked best to promote your fundraisers and events? And if you have a specific social media site that you use to promote it.
Yeah, so for Spring Grove, we use a lot of social media. We mainly use Instagram and Facebook, and then we also started a TikTok. So we like to promote our fundraisers on that. Another thing we like to do is in the past, we've had our fundraisers talked about on the morning announcements at school. And we also, our school lets us write on the windows throughout the hallways. We have these big windows that look outside into the not courtyard, but they look out and there are these big windows and our school lets us write on them. So we will write fundraisers onto them or spirit weeks or something. And that really catches the students' eyes because it's always in bright colors and we like to make it look all pretty. And that's just another thing that we like to do that I think really, really helps. But social media is definitely our biggest thing that we use to advertise our fundraisers.
We also use a lot of social media. I think our main platform is Instagram. We do a lot of posts in different forums. Like we have like the standard post, we do reels, and we also do stories from time to time. A big thing about Instagram is we also have like our community members reshare or like post it to their story. So we get a wider audience, and like the school newspaper might post our thing to their story, or there's like a Dallas Town Athletics account that also like reposts. So like the more people you have reposting, like the wider audience you're gonna see. And social media or Instagram is where we like connect with most of our students versus like we have a Facebook too, I think. And like that connects more with our community members. So if we're like advertising like the homecoming dress sale, we'll do it on both platforms. And yeah, that's how we get a lot of our word out.
Well, great girls. Thank you so much for your help. So Caitlin and I are going to come back on camera and close us out today. So thank you everyone for joining us today and being part of this new exciting series. We hope you found this webinar insightful and are feeling inspired to take this information back to your school. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to one of our ambassadors on Four Diamonds community page, or get in touch with your Mini-THON liaison. Our next webinar will be in October, so keep a lookout for that announcement coming soon. And thank you so much for being part of our incredible mission and for joining us this evening. Have a great rest of your evening.